Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff.
That means we're late, though, because I think we were right on time.
I don't know.
We weren't early.
Lindy Ruff joins us on the Western Hotline. Lindy, good morning. It's Jeremy and Joe.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
All right,
Morning.
Lindy, we talked to Paul yesterday, and he said you pointed out that you're American and Canadian. I got to know when the shot by Jack Hughes goes in, did the arms go up in the air? Like what's the honest, immediate reaction? You can only have one.
They didn't go up.
All right.
We were a family torn because my kids were born here in the U.S. and got a couple kids cheering for U.S. And obviously I was involved with the Canadian team for a couple of the Olympics. And first and foremost, I was really happy for Tage Thompson. Second, I coached Jack Hughes. I was really happy for him. And, what an Olympics it was. The games were incredible. A lot of them went to overtime. The final game had everything in it. So I was a huge hockey fan, really, for that game.
Yeah. It was an incredible kind of feeling to be up early in the morning and feeling like the country was focusing in on hockey again. And, Lindy, there's been a lot said about the 3-on-3 finish. And, the NHL doesn't do that in the biggest games, but this is its own kind of standalone tournament. What's your feeling on that? Just that they chose to finish it that way. And, for better or for worse, that's how it finished.
No, for sure. Going into this tournament, that is going to be part of the protocol. And, we play 3-on-3 here, and you get in the playoffs, it isn't. But I think we've seen how long some of the games have gone when it doesn't. But, hey, the rules were laid out. 3-on-3, you're going to get scoring opportunities. And you look at how quickly that game ended. But every team knew going in, and you looked at the games that were decided to get to the gold medal game. You look at the ladies' game was decided 3-on-3 overtime. So every team, every coach knew that going into the Olympics that you were going to be, if it got to overtime, you're going to be involved 3-on-3.
Yeah, it puts a lot of stress on your forwards, too. Like you mentioned, you coached Jack Hughes before, and it probably will get forgotten because he ends up scoring the goal like 20 seconds later. But he's got to defend McDavid one-on-one in overtime right before that. And I'm sure that's a position that a lot of forwards, other than in overtime, are never faced with.
You made a great point. We watched the play. And our comment was he did an incredible job. McDavid is coming down full speed. He did a real good job as a forward, skating backwards and angling and staying in front of him. That was one of those situations where McDavid could have went right by him, and I thought he played it as good as he could. Even as a defenseman, it was played well. But he made an incredible defensive play on that too. That I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have noticed, but great pickup by you guys.
Yeah. How did you feel about Tage's play also throughout the entire tournament? He tied for the team lead in goals. There was a lot of power play opportunities for him. It also felt like even in that gold medal game, even though he didn't play a ton, like the U.S. wasn't generating a lot of chances, and he had a couple of them.
Yeah, he had a couple of great opportunities. I thought he really had a good tournament. When you go into a tournament like that and you've got, 13 of the best forwards in the U.S., and they're trying to divvy up ice time. And there was times I thought he could have played more, but there's a game plan with every coaching staff. It looked like power play was going to be one of the big things for him. I think the U.S. team got into some matchups in the last game that kept his ice time down, but I thought he had two of the better chances. I didn't think the U.S. had a lot of scoring chances in that second and third period, but I thought Tage had two of the better ones.
Yeah. It was a thrilling game, of course. And, we look forward to the next Olympics. I already saw preliminary rosters for next year, or not next year, in 2030. But I did see Tage as an early lock for 2030. He should be there again. I think it's a I don't know, Lindy. People here in Buffalo have watched his career. He kind of started out, it was slow, it didn't look too good, and then he had this meteoric rise. And I don't know if I'm sure he has these moments. I have these moments where I'm watching him and thinking, man, what a glow up for him to go from, guy that might make it. He's got a lot of talent too. Oh, he's on power play number 1 in the gold medal game. Like I really felt great for him.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is I'm so happy that. I mean, you look at our team and our city here, and we have a gold medalist, and he played so well and was a big part of them winning gold. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to Tage early. I had him last year and this year, and I think he's earned everywhere he's gotten to. And offensively, he's really worked hard in his game away from the puck. I think his fitness level is at the top of the list here amongst our guys. So he's a good example for all the young guys that are coming in. And there's things you get to control, and I think he's been able to control the things that make the biggest difference in the game. Become a good player away from the puck, which gets you more ice time. Have elite fitness, which I believe he's at that level right now. So the things he can control, he's controlled, and he's put himself in a great position to become one of the best players in the league.
How easy do you think it'll be for him? And maybe you've had guys like this before. You would have had Hasek and Schmelik, right, in 98. Guys that have won gold, dialing back into, okay, like that's one mission accomplished, but there's another mission over here in home that also needs to be accomplished.
I think that's the challenge. I think all those players are on such a high and have and the right to be on that high. I know we're chasing our dream of continuing the way we played, and it is to get them back in the right space. But at the same time, let him enjoy the moment with all those other guys. Hopefully, we see him, later today or possibly tomorrow is the plan. But I've traded text with him, and he's excited to get back and get going with the rest of the guys here and continue what we've been trying to build.
Yeah, they were down there in Florida, and there's weather around the country too. Would there be a time where you would feel like you want him here to play tomorrow? Like, would it necessarily be needed, you think, for him to get a skate in first, or could he potentially go right in?
I think he'd potentially go right in. He's been skating now for a couple weeks, and although they've had a couple days off, every guy will be in the same category. New Jersey will have Hughes, and Florida will have their players. So there's players around the league that will be in the same situation. There may be some players that, and then depending on where Tage is at. I'm hoping he plays. There's a chance maybe he doesn't, but I'm assuming right now he'll be a player for us.
Lindy Ruff joining us on the Worcester Hotline. Lindy, Bo Byram had said that maybe the break was good for a lot of the other players. So, while the Olympic players kept going, the rest of the group, even healthy players, we'll start there, got a chance to maybe recharge the batteries. Did you get the feel that as you were going to those last couple games that a recharge would be welcome?
For sure. I think we again had a couple players that got knocked out of the lineup for us. But in the absence of those guys, we brought some players up that, from Hellenius, Ostlund, Rosine, those types of players that had stepped in and helped us win a lot of hockey games. But I think when you look at the break, I think we did get a good recharge. We had some guys that were banged up. Every team had it. But I think in our case, it was a good opportunity for 4 or 5 players, without mentioning names, to start feeling good about their bodies again and get some rest. And I thought the last couple of days here at practice and yesterday's practice was really good. I thought we really skated well, and the energy was great.
You mentioned yesterday that it looks like Norris will be good to go for tomorrow, and he hasn't played a lot this year, and you guys have won a lot of games without him, but he's near point per game. Like when he's available and healthy, I guess, what does he really do for your lineup overall, especially down the middle? Because he's a big piece of the team, and the points are there. But again, you have done a good job when you've had to kind of deal with these games without him.
Yeah, if you look at, he's an elite skater. You watch him in practice, you watch him in the games. He can separate real quickly from anybody, and at the same time, he's a real good defender. We're looking at him as being a strong face-off guy for us and playing every situation. We felt we had some rhythm going when he was back in on the power play, and so we've got him back in on that. But he brings us a really good player in all situations, and from 5-on-5 to even 5-on-6 play where you can stick him in there to win the draw and defend. So to have him back and ready to go is a big plus for us.
Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. The rest of the injuries we, of course, should get to here. Zach Benson, Yuri Kulich, UPL. Like, start where you'd like. You had a little bit of time here to get a look at all these players. How's it look?
UPL is good to go. Benson will not make the start of this trip. I'm not going to rule him out for maybe joining us in Florida, but won't be available for the New Jersey game. There's some further tests he's going to be doing here in the next couple of days. But on an encouraging front, UPL will be ready. Kulich is still under protocol until early March. Timmins and Danforth have both been skating, and they're progressing. But neither of those guys will be ready here within the week or two.
On Kulich's thing, because it's obviously blood clots is kind of a freak thing. Like, what is he kind of able to do? Like, is he able to skate throughout the season here, or is it just kind of a lost year for all of it?
No, he's been able to skate. You can't take a chance of where he's at. You can't take a chance with physicality or getting banged up, but he can skate, he can shoot. He's been on the ice. So it'll just be, and I'm not sure the exact date, but it's early March here that he'll have, a second test to see where the blood clot and everything, all that is at. And, first and foremost, we're just hoping, health-wise that this rectifies and he can just carry on. So that's the most important part.
On your goaltending, Lindy, going into the final stretch here, I think we've asked you and others have asked you all season about a 3-goalie rotation, and now that Luukkonen is back healthy, how do you view it? Do you feel like because each guy has dealt with something along the way that it's almost ended up being a benefit to have all three available? And are we at a point in the season where you could see or envision all three kind of finishing the year with you?
Well, I really look at it as being a benefit because pretty well the whole year we've had segments where there's almost always been one of them has been injured or something has come up. So right now we have three healthy. We know that we could play all three. We know that all three have helped us win hockey games. And I honestly believe we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for the fact that we had three goaltenders. So we will deal with it. There's three or four teams that, are kind of in the same situation where they've had three goaltenders. And let's hope that all three guys can continue to help win us games.
Lindy, before I let you go, at the start of the season, you had your math for it, right? 6 out of 10 points, 5 game sets will get you to a number, will get you to a spot. Have you done any new math like in the last couple weeks? Because I can tell you got a Sabres fan that put together the website Lindy's 5. And I know to get to your target, you guys need 26 more points in 25 games. So you're ahead of schedule for the original target. Has the game operation, have you guys run numbers and maybe have an internal goal on the point total you think you'll have to get between now and the end of the season?
No, it's funny, but we did as coaches talk about where we were at and saying that we were a little bit ahead of it. But if you look at our division and our conference, it looks like the number could be a little higher than it has been in the past. So,
yeah.
We want to continue to play good hockey. We've fought hard. I mean, we've gone on an incredible push to get to where we're at, and we just take it a game at a time and make sure we take care of our end.
you've got to kind of be, I would imagine, feeling it around town. Like this season has been, I think, enjoyable for a lot of Sabres fans as it feels like things are back and meaningful games. And I feel like that Olympic experience is just going to kind of ratchet things up for when things finally get back to KeyBank Center for this stretch run, which comes fast and furious too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's been great. I mean, obviously the excitement, around town, around the city has been awesome. And then that was the goal, to get it to that place. And now let's build off that and make it even better.
Lindy Ruff on the Western Hotline. Lindy, thanks again.
You're welcome, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk next week with Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. They'll play New Jersey tomorrow. The injury updates there. UPL good to go. Zach Benson won't make the start of this trip to New Jersey. Not ruled out for Florida.
Norris good to go.
Yeah, after Florida, they come home for Vegas. First home game next week.